Let's go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, Episode 9 is currently shooting over at Pinewood and Cardington, and after that they plan on filming over in Jordan, Guilin, China, and quite possibly even Italy, which could very well be a hint that we are going over to the planet Mustafar in this film. But moving on from that, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been going over a lot of things for this movie, such as the set designs, the set leaks, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc., one of which has all to do with J.J. Abrams, alright? Now, I want to go over J.J. Abrams. We do know that he has a lot of plans for this film when it comes to the final installment of the Skywalker saga. It's a very important movie in order to, satisfy a majority of the Star Wars fans around the globe. I feel like that JJ really has to end this movie on a good note that'll really make people actually enjoy the sequel trilogy. I feel like that Episode 9 could very well make this trilogy a whole lot better than it is right now, as long as they do some minor fixes here and there and adjustments for some of our characters that have been introduced in this trilogy. Now, what's really interesting about JJ is that apparently JJ Abrams plans to open this Star Wars film in a totally unique way that will stand out from all the other 8 films. Part of the opening scenes have already been shot in the Scottish Highlands and will use IMAX cameras for the beginning of the first act. Aside from this, alright, rumors suggest that they are toying around with the idea of this being the very first Star Wars trilogy film not opening in space. Also, alright, it may open on a familiar planet that actually fans have beloved for so many years to come for the Star Wars franchise itself. So, what's really interesting to me that has all to do with the opening sequence for Episode 9 is that apparently J.J. Abrams is going to make it so unique that'll make it stand out from all of the other 8 movies, and that they are toying around with the idea of it not opening in space. So, if they're not going to open this film in space, what could they really do? Now, the other thing suggests that we could very well be returning to a very familiar planet in Star Wars Episode 9 during the opening scene. You know what I personally would love to see is if it actually ends up being Lothal. I know that's a very familiar planet for a lot of you guys out there, including myself, who watch Star Wars Rebels. I've loved this planet for so long, and I've wanted to see this in a live-action project, such as a series or a movie, whatever have you, right? So if they actually do end up doing this, where it goes over to Lothal, and that is a familiar planet to a lot of Star Wars fans out there who watch the animated stuff. If it is Lothal, which by the way, the Scottish Highlands, I can see this being Lothal because it has like the tall grass and everything, very much like that planet. So, you can kind of see how things may be going here. If it's not to be actually in space for the opening sequence, how amazing would it be if you see the opening crawl vanish and then it pans down to a night shot with a beautiful moon in the background, and you see the tall grass, and you see some of the Lothal wolves passing by, and you do see Poe, Finn, Chewbacca, Naomi Ackie's character, something like that. Something around those lines, I think, could be a way of essentially kind of not starting in space, but also aiming at space, if you will, where you're actually viewing space from a different perspective. Maybe J.J. Abrams is going to do something like that, like I say. Maybe they're on the surface of the planet Lothal with the tall grass, it pans down, you see a nice moon in the background, and then it goes to our characters. Something like that, I think, would be pretty cool to see, especially in IMAX. Aside from that, I'm not quite sure what else J.J. Abrams could really do for the opening scene if it actually does end up not opening up in space. Again, the original opening scene for The Force Awakens, which was also in space, but included Luke's severed hand holding on to his lightsaber as it burns up through the atmosphere of Jakku and it crash lands into the desert. That was the original opening scene for Episode 7, and that actually never made the final cut. So, looking at Episode 9, who knows exactly what's going to happen in this movie, but it seems as though that J.J. Abrams is trying to do something different, yet very familiar for the fans, that'll really actually serve as great nostalgia, perhaps, right from the get-go of the plot for Episode 9. Now, I think that JJ, he's really treating this film very carefully. We do know that apparently he has been doing some adjustments and rewrites here and there while filming. Alright, while filming this movie over in the UK, some adjustments have been made to the overall script for some of our main characters and some of the story elements. So, it's going to be very intriguing to see exactly how JJ is going to handle the final film of this movie, right? Of this trilogy, I should say. This is the final Skywalker film. I feel like that it needs extra special treatment because this is the last chapter movie. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.